In this update, we have multiple winter storms in the week ahead, along with several cold shots. We're going to break down the details for each one. Here is your winter storm severity index for the period leading up to February 13th. This will technically be two systems. The first system will have minor to major impacts on a large portion of Kentucky, West Virginia, Virginia, areas around the D.C. region, Baltimore, Maryland, Delaware, and then up the New Jersey Turnpike into New York City, as well as Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island. A secondary system will move into the plains, impacting eastern Colorado with heavy snow in Kansas. Further south, there could be some ice in Oklahoma City, and then the snow will amplify in Missouri, Nebraska, and Iowa before eventually shifting into northern Illinois, Wisconsin, northern Indiana, and Michigan. If you are new to the channel and enjoy detailed weather breakdowns, hit the subscribe button to get all my daily content and stay ahead of the storm. Now, here's your hazard map for this morning. Very cold air to the north with extreme cold advisories in place for Montana and the Dakotas, with temperatures well below zero and wind chills ranging from 20 to 30 below zero. The newly impacted area is Kansas, where a winter storm watch is in effect due to the incoming snow. Our first system is impacting Kentucky and parts of West Virginia, where winter storm warnings are in place. There may also be some ice in West Virginia and portions of Virginia, but it should be all snow in the D.C. region, Baltimore, Delaware, and New Jersey. As we move through the week, we've been discussing the polar vortex over the past couple of weeks. The reason for this more active pattern with colder air is that the polar vortex is starting to stretch out, and we're beginning to feel its effects. As it stretches out, there is even the possibility of a split, which will keep colder air intrusions active into the lower 48 states, not only in the coming week, but likely well into next week as well. Looking at the system ahead, there's a lot of water vapor to the south, which will pull in Gulf moisture. It should be raining heavily in South Texas and Louisiana, with a transition to a chillier rain further north. As you move into Oklahoma, it's likely to change to freezing rain and then snow once you reach Kansas and Missouri. We could also see flooding rains in some areas due to a compounding effect over the next couple of days. As of this afternoon, we're looking at widespread 30s and 40s across the south, while to the north, with more snowpack, temperatures are in the 20s, teens, and single digits. The true Arctic air is up in Canada, where extreme cold advisories are in place with temperatures well below zero. These are actually the high temperatures. Heading into Tuesday afternoon, heavier rains will continue to unfold further south. The deeper, darker greens on the map indicate heavier rain that could cause flooding in Louisiana, Arkansas, northern Mississippi, and Tennessee. We'll also see a transition to all snow in portions of Oklahoma, Kansas, and Missouri. This first system will likely bring the most significant snow at the beginning, particularly in Kentucky, West Virginia, and Virginia, which is why winter storm warnings are in place. The system will continue to snow into Wednesday morning, but it will start to wind down as the second system strengthens across the plains. This second system will bring heavier snow to eastern Colorado, especially Kansas, which is why winter storm watches are in effect for the region, with potential for 5 to 8 inches of snow from Tuesday into Wednesday. Further north in Nebraska, Iowa, and Missouri, there's more snow, and some ice could develop in Oklahoma, particularly around Oklahoma City. It's going to be a nasty day, especially further south, where instability could cause severe weather. These areas are slightly warmer, which could enhance supercells capable of producing 60-mile-per-hour winds and large hail, affecting areas like Lake Charles, New Orleans, Jackson, and up to Birmingham. Outside of those areas, there will be light to moderate rain showers. Here's the overall breakdown. The first winter storm will impact the region with 6 to 8 inches of snow across a large portion of Kansas. Further south, there is potential for freezing rain in Oklahoma and southern Missouri. But to the north, expect all snow in northern Missouri, Iowa, northern Illinois, and Michigan, with the heaviest snowfall likely in Kansas, where 5 to 8 inches are expected. Here's the breakdown. The first winter storm will move across Kentucky with a 4 to 8 inch snow swath and potentially 8 to 10 inches in some areas under winter storm warnings in West Virginia. This will feed into Virginia with 6 to 10 inches of snow, which will also affect Washington, D.C. Lighter amounts are expected in Pennsylvania, around 2 to 4 inches, extending into Philadelphia, New Jersey, and even New York City, where a couple more inches will add up. Further north, snow will continue into Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Connecticut. A second system will move into the plains, bringing 1 to 3 inches of snow to eastern Colorado and 5 to 8 inches to Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, and Missouri, with some higher amounts as it reaches northern Illinois and possibly up to a foot in Michigan. Ice will be associated with this system as well. There could be ice in the Texas Panhandle, but it's more likely to affect Oklahoma, southern Missouri, central and southern Illinois, northern Indiana, and northwestern Ohio. In these areas, we could see significant ice accumulation, with over half an inch of ice expected in parts of West Virginia and western Virginia. There will be lighter amounts elsewhere, from a glaze to a quarter inch in Pennsylvania, which has already seen its fair share of ice recently. Once the storm moves through, the snow will create a fresh snowpack across the central U.S. At the same time, another cold shot is on the way. We're also expecting an atmospheric river event to come ashore off the West Coast, likely impacting the entire state of California. Heavier rains are expected in San Francisco, Monterey, and Los Angeles, moving further south to San Diego. A few areas could see 1 to 3 inches of rain, which may lead to flooding and mudslides. This will be paired with a reinforcing shot of cold air coming from the north, which will pass over the newly fresh snowpack, keeping temperatures much colder than usual. This will result in a cold day and cold morning in the southern plains and could lead to another snowstorm over the weekend. The West Coast system will bring heavier rains on Thursday, moving across the Intermountain West on Friday and reaching the plains by the weekend, bringing more snow on top of the 5 to 8 inches already expected. Additional snow will affect Nebraska, Iowa, northern Illinois, Wisconsin, Michigan, and further south, where rain will fall, possibly with severe storms. A severe risk is possible in Dixie Alley on Saturday afternoon and evening. Saturday and Sunday storm will bring heavy snow to Kansas, Nebraska, and Missouri, with additional snow likely in Iowa, northern Illinois, and Michigan, on top of the 8 to 10 inches from the first system. This is the third storm, and we're expecting another 8 to 12 inches of snow in these regions. The cold front will likely strengthen with each system, especially as the polar vortex stretches. As these systems push through, they will bring a reinforcing shot of cold air into the following week, keeping much of the U.S. colder than usual, even reaching the deep south. This will likely cut off any severe weather threat in the southern U.S. and bring more snow further south into Oklahoma and Texas, with a potential for significant snow in Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana. By midweek, we could be looking at an even stronger system that could impact further south. This could result in more significant snowfall in areas like Indiana, Ohio, and even further south, potentially leading to a blizzard. As we get closer to this event, we'll fine-tune the forecast, but we're anticipating multiple winter storms over the next 7 to 10 days. We are in for a crazy stretch of winter weather with snow, ice, and severe weather impacting the lower 48 over the next week. A stronger storm system is expected by next week, potentially diving further south and bringing even more active weather. This has already been brewing since last week, but it's really going to intensify starting tomorrow with significant snow, then another big storm by Wednesday and Thursday, and yet another by the weekend. The weekend storm could bring snow, ice, and even a tornado threat to the deep south. And all of this might just be the beginning of a very active February and in early March. The European model for the next 10 days shows a pattern of snow, ice, and severe weather moving from the west to the east. This will not just be one or two storms, but likely more. So it's crucial to prepare for potential impacts on your family and property. Right now, the storm system is ramping up, especially over the deep south, including Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. This will bring heavy snow and ice potential to the mid-Atlantic tomorrow. As this system intensifies, another major storm will follow behind it, bringing even more weather challenges to the region. You can already see the increased cloud cover on the satellite imagery indicating the system's development. Radar shows snow falling over the central plains with rain moving through Texas, Arkansas, and Mississippi. This is just the calm before the storm, as things will really begin to ramp up tonight and tomorrow. By then, the radar will be fully active, covering much of the eastern half of the country. Winter storm warnings are already in effect for Virginia, West Virginia, and parts of North Carolina, while winter storm watches have been issued for Maryland, Delaware, southern New Jersey, and northern Kentucky, as well as much of the Central Plains. Zrania, so be sure to subscribe to the channel for the latest updates. We'll have another video tomorrow and possibly be live on Wednesday and Saturday. Don't forget to click the bell icon to get notified when we go live and for our latest video updates.